Hi all. In today's session, we are going to discuss about data and analytics for the Internet of Things, in which we cover the data analytics introduction, the type of the data, the organization of the data, and the analytical methods along with few challenges. Let us see what is the data, why the analysis of data is required. Whenever we are making use of internet applications or the collection of the data from different sensors is generating a massive amount of data which is very difficult for categorize or to analyze the information gathered with the different sources of the elements. When we consider in the internet of things, it's usually generated with a lot of information. Every example, every sensor is generating around hundreds of MB for per second. Let us consider an example of a commercial jet airways. When we see this particular jet airway design, it is basically installed with. Let us consider the commercial jet engine example where it is installed with hundreds of the sensors. Amount of data is generated from a jet engine. Whenever we consider the huge data is generated from a jet engine, it is created for every instance, what is happening for every second, what is the climatical conditions, when the movement of the aircraft happens, what is going to happen if the movement has been happened. So with respect to this, the lot of information is gathered. Roughly around 10 GB of data is gathered per second with the thousands of sensors. So we can say that there are a lot of sensors utilized or implemented within the aircraft, nearly around 5,000. And these modern jet engines are basically generated with hundreds of GBs of data every day. And we also consider another example, a twin engine commercial aircraft which is operating on an average of 8 hours per day, that will generate around 500 TB of the data every day. So how do you store this? How do you manage the data? Can we say all the data is organized in a uniform way? No, we cannot say that the data is organized in a similar fashion. All the data are categorized in two ways. One is considered as a structured, it's an organized way where the data is accumulated, and the another form of the data is unstructured way. We can see the diagram here. The data is organized systematically with a similar category or similar formats in the proper formatting, whereas the unstructured data is not organized properly. That means it is not of the same type. It can be an image, it can be audio, it can be a video, or a combination of any data. Whereas in structured data, it is organized in a similar fashion. We can say only a text data is organized, only a images, only a video. Whereas the unstructured data is a combination of all sorts of the data. So how do you analyze this? So let us consider some of the characteristics. How do you differentiate between the structured and unstructured data? We can say that the data are predefined with the data are defined with a predefined models that we say as a structured data. Usually the structured data includes the text only, and it is very comfortable and easier to search within the organized data. Whereas same fashion, There is no predefined model. The data can be an image, sound, audio, video, or any other formats. So that makes it difficult to organize or search elements within the unstructured data. So when it comes to the another characteristics where these data resides, it may be a relational or in a warehouse. The data is organized in a proper manner in a relational databases as well as a data warehouses, whereas unstructured data is residing everywhere in all the applications, all the NoSQL databases, warehouses, data lakes. That means the unstructured data quantity is more compared to the structured data. And these data, structured data are designed or generated by the human beings or the machines, a similar fashion with the unstructured data. Both the categories of the data are generated either by human beings or the machines. Some of the typical examples and applications are listed here, where the structured data is organized specifically. For example, let us consider a date, phone numbers. It means only phone numbers are available in a particular file or the storage. Whereas in unstructured data, it is a combination of all sort of the data. It may be a phone number, email ID, date of birth of a person, any sort of information that is organized, that is arranged in a particular storage place. So we need to know some differences of the data organization based on the storage. That is we call as a data is in motion or the data is at rest. Data is in motion or the data is in rest. We also need to know the way data is stored or it is in process or in motion. For that we consider the data in two ways, that is either the data is in motion or at rest. So let us consider the major differences between the data in motion and data in rest. Data in Internet of Things, which is moving, which is in progress, which is in process, that we call as data in motion. Whereas the data stored in a particular location, in a particular storage device, that we consider as a data at rest. So when we consider the analysis of the data in motion is very difficult to analyze compared to the data at rest. So it is included with the exchange of the information. It may be a client server, it may be a web browser, file transfers, emails. All sort of the data are considered as a data in motion, whereas the data which is stored on a particular hard drive, storage devices or a USB drive are considered as a data at rest. So from the IoT perspective, each and every data from a smart object is considered as a data in motion, because IoT is an area in which each and every instance of the data is to be calculated, collected from the sensors, which is passed through the network to the destination from the source objects or the source sensors. So this is basically processed with the help of edge and fog computing. It means it filters the data which is required for the storage or to be processed in a data center. Some of the examples which we can consider for the data in motion are Spark, Storm and Flink. So these are the tools which can be used to analyze the data in motion. At the Similarly, the data in REST are typically stored in data centers where few tools are available to design, to analyze, and to make the perspective decision what the data is for. For such a case of data, the tool we can use is the Hadoop, which is very familiar for the big data analysis. So let us overview what is IoT analytics. How do you categorize? How do you analyze the data which is generated by huge number of devices? So let us start from the base level where the data is generated from a networks. It may be a mobile data, it may be internet data, it may be a machine information, sensor collected data, it's a regular log files, it may be a video file, social media data, or the relationships and social influencing information, emails, SMSs, ERPs, geolocations, and the alarms, events, many more are considered for the source of a data. That data is processed, that is collected, integrated, processed, aggregated, and visualized with the help of big data technologies. So how do you analyze? How do you visualize? Once the data is collected, it is integrated with the process, integrated by processing, then the visualizations are generated based on the categories of the data or the type of the information. For that, we need to consider few categories of the analysis methods, that is a descriptive view, that is a descriptive way, a diagnostic way, predictive way, and a perspective. What do you mean by this? The descriptive analysis gives the result for what is happening. A diagnostic way gives the result why did it happen. The predictive will give a results what is likely to happen in future, and the perspective is what should I do it to happen the things to analyze. So we can say that when we compare these four types of a data analysis, descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and perspective, so the first and foremost step which is very much important is a descriptive analysis that says what is happening. Means it says that the data, something has happened, some instance, some SMS is sent. What is happening there? It will say SMS is sent. Similarly, in a diagnostic analysis, it will say that why this SMS has been sent, for what purpose, to whom. So that is a diagnostic analysis. And after in predictive analysis, it will say what will happen in future. Means where the SMS is going to reach, to whom, what is the purpose of the SMS to be sent, and that analysis will be done by the predictive analysis way. Whereas in a perspective analysis, what should I have to do in future to reach the SMS to the right person or the right way? What is the information? How do you analyze? What are the security loopholes that can to be considered by the previous analysis methods? So that is how the complexity increases as the different analysis occurs. Challenges which are basically considered with the relational databases which could not be handled with our normal RDBMS or the tools which we are making use for our regular data, as the data is generated very fast and huge. So while considering the relational databases, they are struggling to evaluate or process the information. Because of this, the IoT is placed with the two specific challenges on the real and relational database, that is a problem with scaling and the volatility of the data. The scaling can be analyzed. The scaling problem can be evaluated by some tools, and the volatility of the data has to be taken care with the IoT devices for a better and efficient analytical results. Thank you.